We are not rushing anybody, and we don't have trust in Pakistan that has been putting out these terrible statements regarding these anti-Semitic statements against the state of Israel. I think that a long way remains for them to go until they recognize our indigenous rights in the land of Israel, because Israel is part of this region.
Israel has lashed out at Pakistan, even as Islamabad attempts to position itself as a mediator in U.S. Iran talks. Israel's top diplomat in India has made it clear, declaring bluntly that, "We don't trust Pakistan." The Israeli diplomat has also accused Islamabad of fueling what he called anti-Semitic sentiments against Israel.
About the specific event you just concluded, GWAFI, how important is this event according to you, and what kind of sentiment and sense it gives across the globe through this event?
We are part of GWAFI because we believe in dialogue, and we want to bring all the experts on West Asia to the same table to have a chance to discuss informally their concerns, their observations, so we can draw a better understanding of the Indian point of view. We can make clear our point of view, and we can draw the conclusions when it comes to building our bilateral partnership that has many faces, including political dialogue.
Excellency, talking about the Israel-Lebanon tension, which we see recently, we have seen that Israeli military has also captured the strategic site of Beaufort Castle in the southern Lebanon. What's the update on this conflict, and where is the end game? How do you look at this current tension which is going on? What is your...
Well, unfortunately, Hezbollah attacked us again in an unprovoked way on the 2nd of March. This is not the first time they are doing it. And there is a threat, a very imminent threat coming from Hezbollah. They fired more than 1,000 rockets since the ceasefire was called, and they killed more than 12 Israeli civilians and soldiers. We've been dealing with different aspects of the threats. We had to take a buffer zone in order to neutralize the anti-tank missile threat that was actually targeting our communities in the north and killing civilians. We had to uproot the infrastructure that the Radwan forces built adjacent to the border, and now we are taking the high ground in order to deal in a better way with the UAV threat, this new kind of fiber optic UAVs that cannot be taken out with electronic warfare. We have to be in a situation that we can neutralize it. So we'll continue taking action in order to defend ourselves. What we are trying to do now is to leverage that together with our peace negotiations with the Lebanese government in order to create a situation that we have a sustainable ceasefire that will ultimately lead to a sovereign Lebanon that is capable of controlling itself and neutralizing the Hezbollah attempt to serve the agenda of Tehran.
Talking about the Hezbollah itself and in the backdrop of peace negotiations, how hopeful are you? Do you think the Lebanon and Israel peace negotiation will fruit something with Iran in the backdrop as well? What's your understanding, sir?
Look, I think the challenge is the same that you have in Gaza. You have a terrorist entity that is refusing to renounce power and actually holding hostage the future of their communities. So I don't think that either Gaza or Lebanon will prosper as long as these forces remain there. It's not only our responsibility, but it's the responsibility of the peoples of the region to get rid of these radical forces. It's the responsibility of the international community to support that effort. And that's why we are engaging in peace negotiations with the government of Lebanon, because we have zero conflict with the state of Lebanon. We have, unfortunately, a conflict with a radical force that is sworn to annihilate us and is not willing to alter their agenda. So it remains to be seen whether the Lebanese government will be capable to change the situation internally. But until it does, Israel will take all the measures it needs in order to defend itself from within the Lebanese territory.
Keeping it in West Asia itself, how do you look at the deal which is like the ceasefire, the deal which U.S. and Iran have been talking about. How hopeful are you, and what do you think about the prospects?
Well, I think we have to be stubborn because the Iranians are trying to reverse the result of this military confrontation. They have been defeated. They have to face that. They have to renounce these two existential threats that were building against the state of Israel and the region. And the U.S. president is being stubborn about that. I don't think he's going to renounce his intentions and his goals. And Iran will continue facing pressure, including through the naval blockade, until it agrees to the terms that the United States has put forward.
Excellency, the oil prices have shot up because of the Strait of Hormuz blockade. How do you look at this situation which is panning out, and what would you say going forward as well?
What we're actually seeing is a drop in oil prices, because they've been going up to about 110, and now they are down to about 90. It means that the international community has been able to cope with the situation. There are countries that are increasing their offer of oil. So although this remains a challenge, and we hope to get a ceasefire as soon as possible that will bring back stability to the markets, I don't think we have to hesitate when it comes to putting pressure on this regime, because if we don't, the prospects of crisis, a much bigger one in the future, are going to be looming on our region, and we don't want that.
Excellency, Pakistan and Abraham Accords. Donald Trump has been talking about Pakistan to sign the accords, but they have been quite hesitant and rejected that idea. How do you respond to that, and do you think they can even act as the peacemaker in the region?
Well, you know, the issue of Abraham Accords, I think, derived from the clear view that comes from President Trump that Israel is a force for stability in the region, and any country that wants peace in the region and wants prosperity in the region can be part of the Abraham Accords. Now, when it comes to Israel, you know, we are not rushing anybody, and we don't have trust in Pakistan that has been putting out these terrible statements regarding these anti-Semitic statements against the state of Israel. I think that a long way remains remains for them to go until they recognize our indigenous rights in the land of Israel, because Israel is part of this region, has been part of the region, not only according to our writings, but also according to Islamic writings. And whoever is not willing to recognize that doesn't have much of a prospect of joining the Abraham Accords.
Last up, of course, about India's role in West Asia, which I'm understanding. What are your hopes regarding that? That would be my last question.
India has a huge role to play, because India is the fastest growing economy in our region. And as a result of the agreements it has signed with all the major trade blocs, we are going to see trillions of dollars of merchandise moving, a lot of investment moving, and our region, West Asia, can be enjoying that if we have stability. So we have to achieve stability, we have to neutralize the radical elements, and then I think both India and us and all the countries in the region will be able to enjoy the prosperity that is going to come from India towards our region.